May profits be upon you. Welcome to the forecast updates. What we're going to do here is we're going to go over all of the assets that I went over Saturday and posted Saturday. All right. Now, that video was way too long for this platform here on TradingView. So if you just scroll under this video and go down to where you see my profile pic and my other contacts, you'll see two buttons there to for my other social media platforms, and you'll find that long video there where I went over everything from the US dollar down to copper. Okay. And we the only thing we're going to do in this video is see what the progress is. It's Tuesday, not quite midweek yet, but we have important data coming out tomorrow, called CPI data. All right, that's going to talk about the where we are with inflation, and you want to be out of your trades. And I told you that the U.S. dollar was going to show some strength this week. All right, but it's short term strength for longer term weakness. All right, let's go into it. All right, starting with the U.S. dollar, that was the first thing I forecasted. I told you about the strength, and that's what we saw. This is Monday's candle. This is Tuesday's candle. This is the new candle. We ran up into this fair value gap here, this bearish fair value gap, and I was forecasting that we would see some downside from there. Yeah, it's printing a bearish candle right now, but you can see if you look closely, this little green arrow, that's the one I had for since Friday. This is Friday's candle, and I said, yeah, we'll be heading up to that bearish fair value gap, and that's where we are. We'll see what happens from here, but we're doing good, so we'll get a good grade on this one. All right, euro, I said the exact opposite. We were heading towards a bearish weekly fair value gap here, right? And I said once we take out these highs, which we did last week, we'll probably see price head down, and it overlaps another confluence here, this weekly fair value gap that I said we'll probably be seeing some downside since then. And this is Monday candle. This is Tuesday candle. We're right on point. We'll see if we can hit these sell side liquidity targets down here. All right. Good one. The British pound. All right. Pound futures or pound USD. I talked about how we would wait to see what would happen in this bearish fair value gap here. All right, this is a daily fair value gap inside of a weekly fair value gap. I'm looking for price to possibly turn over here, but the pound is stronger than the euro, so I would rather take a short in the euro before I take one in the pound. I would rather take a long in the pound, but the pound would have to prove to me that it is strong by, uh, disrespecting this daily fair value gap here. We see price close above it, then we know that we're probably heading towards that swing high here. Okay. So right now we're pretty much on time, on point there. Aussie dollar. I said we would be heading for this swing low here. All right, because there's a bigger picture here. Relatively equal lows down here at the same level. You understand? And I'm thinking that price is going to sweep these lows, and then we're going to see longer term bullishness. All right, short term bearishness, longer term bullishness. All right, and this fits with the scenario that I have with the dollar. The dollar strength that it would show early would drag price down, and then uh, relate to weakness, and that would have the Aussie outperforming the US dollar at that point. But we'll see what happens after it takes this low. We're just a few ticks from it, and I'm pretty sure we're going to hit it. The New Zealand dollar actually did hit its sell side liquidity target. That's why it's in green. And you see the arrow I drew on Saturday there. And I'm looking for price to take out that swing low. All right, pretty much same scenario as the Aussie. All right, the Canadian dollar. Now this is the Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar. I'll show you the U.S. dollar CAD next. All right, but the CAD itself as a currency is weak, and we did hit the sell side liquidity target here, which is a previous weekly low. Uh, no, it's not. It's this low came a little earlier. We already took out those the previous weekly low. Uh, this is Friday's candle here. Yeah, we took that out on Monday. Tuesday took it a little further, but we're right on point right now with the uh, the the forecast. Now, on the weekly, this is a wick, and you know how I feel about wicks. They're their own range. I have the 50% marked out here. I'm looking for price to reach there, and I'm going to watch the reaction. All right. I'm not so sure we're hitting that low. All right. Because we can turn up at any time right now because the market is extended. So I'm looking for, do not miss this long term bullish move. All right. The same with New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar. We got short term weakness coming in these currencies, but I believe we're going to have a longer term bullishness coming. All right, short term weakness for longer term strength. All right, USD CAD for you FX traders out there. We took out that high. All right, and we reached that target. See, I got a little dollar signs there. We took that buy side liquidity target there, and the 100% of the measured move. What is that? All right, I took there's 80% and 100%. The measured move is this: you mark from the low, the swing low. Oh, I went to the wrong one. Doggone it! Mark from the swing low to the swing high here, and then you go from the next swing low to the next, and you project what the next swing high is going to be, and you'll see that it goes up to this line. All right, all right. But I use the instead of using drawing lines like that, I just use the Fibonacci extension, as you can see here. No, that's not it. Yeah, that's not it. Here's a trend-based Fibonacci extension tool. All right, yeah, I just use that here. I put it at the swing low, swing high, back to the swing low, all right, and I just move it over to the side, and we have our extension, and that projected that 100. I've had this extension up there for quite a bit. If you've been watching my videos, so you know that I was looking forward to it hitting that, and it did. So we're definitely on point on that one. This one here is the Swiss franc, and what I had was uh, we had hit this weekly fair value gap, a bearish one, and there was a daily one that price wicked through but did not close beyond. So it showed respect to both. Okay, and you see how price dropped today, past and closed past the weekly fair value gap that I had an eye on since Saturday. I said, I want to see how price reacts to that. Because we went below it, I'm looking at price to invert on this bearish fair value, this bullish fair value gap, and turn it into a bearish one. And when you see an inverted fair value gap, what you're looking for is price, instead of it going up this way, all right, it comes down, and I'm looking for it to use that same fair value gap as resistance and continue down. All right, so we'll see how this candle, the candle that's printing now, today's candle for Wednesday, we'll see how it works out. And I'm thinking this is going to be pretty nice if it holds as an inverted fair value gap. We're going to hit the previous weekly low here. where there's plenty of liquidity. All right. Uh, US dollar Swiss. US dollar Swiss is just the opposite, of course. And I'm not sure what all of this is. I got it there for some reason. I can't remember what it is. All right. So you see how we broke the market structure to the downside, pulled back up into this bearish leg. And I was looking to see what price would do with this fair value gap here, this bearish fair value gap. Looks like price is fighting it. It looks like it wants to disrespect it. So if price closes above this uh, daily fair value gap, which is a bearish one, uh, look for it to invert for the upside, just the opposite, and head towards the previous weekly high. All right, for a liquidity. But what I'm looking to see is if it holds and it hits down to this swing low here. All right, that's what I'm looking at. This is a wait and see because we're right in the middle. So be careful with that one. On the yen, this is the yen by itself, the currency, it's strong and it will outperform the US dollar. Like I said, short term weakness here because the US dollar is dragging it down because it's showing short term strength. Got it? And I wanted to see how this bullish fair value gap would work out. Well, we're getting a nice reaction here with the candle that's printing for Wednesday. All right. But what I was looking for in the forecast was it to reach the bullish fair value gap. And that's what we did. So we're right on point there. I'm looking for price to continue higher. That's it. I'm looking for price to stop doing that. I'm looking for price to follow that arrow and go up high. US dollar JPY, US dollar yen, just the opposite. All right. Uh, Looking for price to hit that fair value gap. It hit that fair value gap as that little green arrow that I drew Saturday. You know, uh, points out, and I'm looking for it to turn over. We'll see how price reacts. I've got my eye on it. We'll see how price reacts to the fair value gap. So far, it looks pretty good, but there's no wick on that new candle. So this candle, it might be forming downwards, but it could flip. You understand? So we want to be careful. All right. If we go to the S&P, wow, look, I'm losing time. If we go to the S&P, I'm looking to reach that 80%, but uh, price is heading down towards the weekly fair value gap. I told you it would because of the U.S. dollar showing strength this week. We would see some weakness in the markets, and that's exactly what we're seeing. And there's no surprise. So I'm looking to see what the reaction will be. I'm looking for price to find support and seek higher so we can take out the buy side liquidity as our targets that were set on Saturday. In NASDAQ futures, same thing. Price did come down to the bullish fair value gap. We'll see that we had a wick of respect there. I'm looking to see if we find more support for higher prices. That's it. I want to see this. All right. We have uh, fair value gaps here and here. So if price does come down further to come past the breakout area here, I'm looking for price to find support there or here. But there's a lot of areas to find support. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking for higher prices. All right. If we look at the Dow, same deal. I With the Dow though, I specifically said we're heading down to this fair value gap. I want to see how price reacts. If this fair value gap holds, then we'll see price come up for the buy side liquidity. But the Dow does its own thing. It departs sometimes, diverges from the other two. It does its own thing. It came down here first, so I'm looking to see here if it goes higher, the other two will probably follow. If it goes lower, if it breaks below this and maybe inverts this fair value gap, well, we got another situation. We'll probably be heading towards that low. So we'll see. All right. We don't want to get too far ahead with that. With oil, I said I wanted to watch this fair value gap on the 4 hour, right? Because price is very choppy. All right, very choppy. But I saw a price heading towards this fair value gap. This was a bearish one. It ate right through it. And what did it do? It came back, found support, and we're seeing higher prices. And we are heading towards this this swing high here for buy side liquidity. Now, you got to go with it. Are we going to see any more bullish fair value gaps develop so that we can go higher? I don't know, but because we could come back, we can get this swing high and turn around from here, and that's what I'm leaning towards. That's where my head is going right now. That would probably take this high out and then come down. So look for that. I have my eye on it, but we did find that the fair value gap was inverted here. Same thing with the Brent, the UK oil. I was looking for a price to come down. It did not. Instead, it came into the fair value gap. It broke through the fair value gap and came back and found support. And we see price heading higher towards the swing high. But I do believe once it hits that swing high, it's going to turn over and we're going to be heading towards these lows. Okay. If we go to gold, in gold, why are we still on the 4 hour? All right. In gold, I said tread with caution because we have nothing but chop. That is consolidation. I said we got to wait for a breakout. I'm waiting for a breakout. I don't know what you're doing. All right. I said, I need to see a breakout. We got this on Monday where price took out the swing high, took out the previous weekly high, but came back into the range. All right. Usually that's an indication that we're probably going to head low. That's not the case this time. Uh, because we closed so high above the previous candle, we should have projected that we'll probably get more bullish candles. I didn't say that. I didn't. It didn't come to mind at the time, but that's what I should have said. But nonetheless, today we have a very bullish candle with no wick on top, and it also we have a bullish fair value gap developing. Now this candle could turn around and all that white could go away and turn black into a wick and then a bearish candle. We don't know, but I think we're heading towards the swing high here for buy side liquidity. All right, we'll see if we get that bullish fair value gap, which would support higher prices. This fair value gap doesn't exist yet. All right, we're gonna wait till this candle closes. All right, if we go to silver, same situation. Uh, we had some consolidation here and we have price trading into a weekly bearish fair value gap. We do have a shown enough bullish fair value gap here. So if price does come back down here, I'm looking for this to hold and to go higher. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is a good setup here, and I'm waiting for price to uh, sting back into this bullish fair value gap on the daily. Uh, it's this weekly fair value gap look like it's getting disrespected. It's looked like it's getting disrespected. So I'm looking at this fair value gap to be stung into and for higher prices. That's what I'm looking for. But we'll see how it develops. All right. The platinum. I don't think I got to platinum last week in the forecast, but it's chopping and it's not. It hasn't shown signs that it's coming down here. We're right in the middle of the consolidation, so I still have my eye on it. With copper, if you can read these notes, you'll see that I was looking to see if price would. I got my eye on this fair value gap. I was looking to see if it would hit that previous weekly high. It did trade it into the weekly fair value gap here, and it closed. It hasn't closed yet, but I'm looking to see if it closes above it. So it looks like prices are going higher here. I hope you enjoyed this update. Hit the like button, hit the boost, leave a comment, ask a question. Let me know how these videos are benefiting you, and may profits be upon you. I'll see you in the next video.